Hi everyone, it's MikaHell. Today we're going to discover together the concept of traps in Dragon Staff and also work on having more control on arm rolls. This concept I want to share with you and this exercise, I discovered them only really later on in my journey with Dragon Staff, but now I realize how essential they are from the really beginning. Because all this motion where the Dragon Staff is coming towards us, like in an inward rolling, is most of the time where we are losing control. And so instead of waiting for later on to work on it, one's starting straight away from there and learning control where it's the most important. And it's also a key point for so many of the tricks around the neck and rolling there that I think it's worth taking the time there. Before going to the concept of trap on itself, I will show you some exercise on how to increase your control around arm roll. And in a static version, with this, we're going to try to keep the Dragon Staff on the same place, and also the same exercise with a circular motion. Also, before that, I really advise to watch my video on inward shearers and also the variation of cheating depths, because we will use some of the concepts I explored there, and I think like an inward shearer which is stable will really help for that concept we're going to explore today. We're going to start with a little series of exercises about arm roll, and to give back credit to where it's due. Those idea of working on keeping the Dragon Staff in one place without any circular motion and kind of taming the dragon come from Genia, which was my flow partner at the time, who really inspired me, and he took example also of people who was doing contact ball and trying to isolate it and gain control in that way, and he applied to Dragon Staff. He taught me that and inspired me, so that's something I'm sharing through my workshop because I think it's essential if you want to gain real control. And I'm going to show you how to work on that with the Dragon Staff rolling towards us, like on the inward rotation. I'm going to show you a different point of view so you can see completely what I'm doing. Here, I'm just starting with my hand straight in front. I let the Dragon Staff roll on a straight line, then my hand is going under it to take now the contact on it. It's kind of a motion that we call scooping, like a scoop of ice cream. And by doing so, you can really feel the transfer of weight and how also by pushing in front, in that way, you can increase the rotation of the dragon. Now, keeping the dragon in one space is not an easy task. The dragon we're going to try to go from right to left, and you're going to want to go to this circular motion. For your exercise here is when this is happening and it starts to turn, is to actually go against the dragon. You see that the dragon was starting to turn from my left side, so I went with my hand on the left side and balance it back. And so that way it's not about trying to be perfect from the beginning, but learning from this really exercise of how to balancing out when it's coming towards us and getting control here. And step by step, you can let the dragon roll more towards you. You can start with just small exercise where I'm just on my hands, then going towards my elbow, then even towards my shoulders. So the really important motion here is to scoop under, in that way to not break the rotation, but also this little push in front, where we're gonna increase the like with surface of friction here, and by pressing against it, we in that way increase the rotation of the dragon. And the more the dragon will have a strong momentum, the more it's going to keep straight easier also. But while it's also harder to keep it tame. So that's kind of an ongoing game. Don't try to have like perfect result from the beginning, but try to work on this exercise in a regular basis, and it will really increase greatly your control here. As a side note, this is not necessary for that particular tutorial, but you can always work things in reverse, right? So if things are going inwards, they can also go outward. So you can do exactly the same exercise, but here I'm bringing the stuff up, let it roll down. And bringing it back up, letting things roll down. And by doing so, you're doing the same arm rolls, but now going outside, which will bring you step by step to another tutorial, which will be the one-handed chiro. And here you can have fun also with that motion. It's a bit harder to keep in control, but definitely worth working on it as well. Now that we are warm up with those arm rolls concept and drill, we can go step by step into the trap. We're gonna start, like always, step by step. I really recommend that you also saw like the chiro variation video I made, because we're gonna use here the 360 motion that we learned, but also with the inward chiro. So I hope you did your homework and work on this one, because it will help you greatly to get that concept in an easy way. What I want you to do first here is to go in this 360, and I'm on my right side, and I have my left hand in front here. And this hand is the one taking the most of the balance and the weight. And without any rotation, rolling, what I just want to do is to go to the other side with this leading hand, then the other one, adding most of the weight there, then going back to the other. It seems simple, but it's really important. It's going to be absolutely essential for the next step. So here now on the left side, there's my right hand going above and leading, adding almost all the weight. And as you can see, maybe it's already happening for you, then the dragon is going to start to roll, which is great because this is the next step. I'm here, my left hand adding the lead. I'm gonna go with this 360, but now I'm going slower and let the dragon start to roll till I arrive down, and now the dragon is blocked around my shoulder level, around here. So I do it again so you can see here. Left hand leading, it starts to roll, then I stop here. It really looks like a 360 inward shift. And now I do the same with the other. And I always stop before the shoulder, then the other. You can really make a stop at each step and try to really do the full motion. It's going to be really important for the next step. As we're going to go forward into this exercise, it might happen that the dragon staff will be kind of a block here around the shoulder, around the neck. It's really important for you to not focus too much on it because it's a motion that's going to happen by itself. It's not something you need to put awareness so far on it, but it's part of the concept we call trap. But the most of the control you need to focus on is what you are doing with your leading hand going from one side to another and not focusing on the neck. Then now that this is said, we can go for the next step. Maybe you already start to feel a bit this motion, but now we're gonna combine this like kind of chill motion with the arm roll things we did at the beginning. The difference is that we are not working around the center, but more with this three-quarter, which is a position actually of your hand when you're doing a chill. That's why I bring you here. But now your exercise will be when you are here to really do the motion of scooping like we did before with your hands for the arm roll one, and pushing in front while my hand is doing 180. I said 360, so it was 180, sorry. 180 motion towards the side. And by doing so, because also we put more pressure, the dragon can travel across like this without needing the other hand, because we are bringing with our body motion and with the pressure of our hand, enough rotation momentum on the staff stay balanced even though our head is here and the center is in front of us. So I'd like to show you. And then I move to the other side. And now it's about timing. So what I want you to see is that when the dragon staff is arriving here, before he reaches my shoulder, so right after my elbow, I want with my other hand to already arrive and scoop under. If you wait too long, if you wait till your shoulder, you're gonna get stuck here and you're gonna lose the momentum. So to show you, I'm moving first with my left, and when I arrive here, I'm at round about my elbow level. My right hand is already arriving to pick up and push to the other side. The center is in front of me, and by turning like this, I give enough energy to the staff to go from one way to another. Now what might happen is this: you get stuck here and it's really hard to keep anything moving. It can be for a few reasons. First, either you're not turning your chest into this 180 motion that I show you, or it's also the timing. If you put your hands to scoop under when you are around about the shoulder level, it's already too late, because when you're going to want to take it here, and my hat is falling off. When you want to take it here, it's already too late, and when you're pushing, it's way harder. It's doable, but you get really stuck here, and so you're losing control of it. What you want is really when you are when you are at the elbow, you are going for it and you are turning from a side to another. And try to always keep the center in front of you for the moment. You can work later with the center being on your arm, that's for further variation later. For the moment, you want to still be in this chiral motion. And so we are still, you see, on this position of our hand like we are on the chiral, like the inwards. And we can actually also use that as a security at the beginning. I can keep my other hand also close by till you will be comfortable enough to really completely drop your other hand and do whatever you want with it. But now also like we can use this chiral position as a security and as a challenge. I would like you to be able to, for example, being in this inward chiral, and from there accessing to the other one and going back into a chiller on the other side. It's a bit tricky, but it will bring you the connection you need also between one movement to the other and bring more stability into your play. Now, just a little point of focus on why we call that motion a trap, which is also just like an arm roll or like a half steve. You can name it a bit as you want. It came, this notion of trap, because instead of following the dragon when you can do with other concepts, here we are forcing the dragon to go where we want to. And also, this motion happening on the neck, as you can see here, when we are switching the rotation of the dragon from one side of our body to the other, the dragon is kind of going up our neck here. And just a little note, like you can see, I don't have any hair, but this part for some people might get trapped and curling in your hair might be really painful. I can advise you to maybe make already the step before the dragon will do it for you, to shave that part of your body. If you don't do it, probably the dragon will do it for you. And so this is up to you. This is not something I struggle with, but I saw many students having this problem. And you can see also what's happening around the neck. I don't need to do anything, but you can see the dragon going a bit and start to go around the neck here. And this is where the trap is happening. Now then you start to get that trap concept and you're able to go in from a chiller. I can show you also other way to enter that movement. Another one would be simply by the cheating depth. So we are now known like outward chiller, transition, and here, as much as we did like for the cheating variation, I'm starting a circular motion to the side, and then it's already there. I can start the movement. And coming back to the chiller, and coming back with the transition. So that's one of the potential entry for the trick. And also here we can easily go for the cheating depth variation we saw in the previous video. One more entry for that trick will be from the very first move I showed you in the beginning of that video. So I'm starting with my arm roll in front here, and I'm gonna push now, but instead of pushing in the center, I choose to go in this 3/4 and where we were before, and push to the side. And now we are back into that motion. Interesting trick here is to try step by step to force the dragon to come back into stay in one place. Then coming back to the circular motion and vice versa. It's not an easy one, but if you are able to do this, you are able step by step to tame your dragon and to decide where the dragon is going instead of just chasing your tail and never knowing where to go. This trick can take a little while to get clean and control, but the more you're going to work on it, the more you're going to make your life really, really easier for a lot of really cool tricks who are coming in the next video. Here I'm going to just show you a short example of the one we will see in the next tutorials. And this is the end. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and always welcome any kind of feedback. If you are stuck somewhere and there's a part of missing clarity, let me know. It will improve my teaching, and I'll see you in the next one.